known as depraved, decent, everyday people rebelling against violent excess. And we have a spokesman for the group, Mr. Trevor Mundine. Mr. Mundine.
Look, we've stopped this rubbish from releasing our cinemas and we'll stop it in the video stores.
You've seen the film yourself?
Look, poison's poison. We don't want this for our kids. We'll be burning this tonight. And everyone should do the same.
I wish the Fourth Reich all the very best. Last time I looked, this was still a democracy.
Pat? 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 Is there anyone there? Oh, Pat. Have you gone and done yourself this time?
Door, please. Please just shut the door.
Sorry.
Thank you. Victim's name is Pat O'Donnell. Duncan Bree, you found the body, which is through here.
Anything stolen?
Not that we can tell. Money's still in the till, wallet hasn't been touched.
Oh, I'm done. It's all yours.
Right, there are no clear fingerprints. Lots of smudges. Killer obviously wore gloves.
It's freezing. We're all wearing gloves.
I can smell curry.
Curry.
This is one almighty shove.
Clean wound. Straight thrust.
This his shop?
Apparently he had a long-standing feud with a do-gooder named Mundine. Mundine runs a group called Depraved. Now, they were demonstrating outside the front of the shop earlier today. Now, there have been some threats, apparently, from both sides. I'm having the details checked out.
Right. Well, we'll definitely want to work with Mr. Mundine then.
It's through here, guys.
Our friend Duncan Bree took off down the road, flagged down a police car, brought him back here.
Why didn't he just use the phone?
Well, he's afraid that the radio waves are going to eat his brain. Best of luck.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Okay, are you sure that music came from a video?
Oh, yeah, it was some lovey-dovey thing with all kissing and groping and stuff. Boring.
Right, and then the music changed, that's right?
That's right. That's when Blood Hoot came on.
And you're sure that it was the Blood Heat video that was playing when you found the body?
Yeah, I've seen it 16 times, you know.
Good, okay. So the music changed, the video changed, but you weren't aware of anyone in the shop, is that right?
No. Oh, that's weird, isn't it?
Oh, I see Pat!
Oh, I'm sorry, you can't go in there.
Where is he? What's happened?
Your name, please.
Brady, Lorelei Brady. Where's Pat? What's happened?
I'm Detective Vance. I'm very sorry, Mr. O'Donnell is deceased.
I've got Sam.
Might be better if you waited, all right, man?
Let me
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to wait, okay?
Oh, Pat!
Out of our community! Poison's poison. We don't want this for our kids. We'll be burning this tonight! And everyone should do the
So you work in the video shop?
Casual. I usually work a split shift in the mornings and then again in the afternoons.
And why were you there tonight?
To see Pat. We had an appointment.
What kind of appointment?
Well, Pat said he felt like a celebration, and we hadn't seen much of each other lately. I was looking forward to it. Bought the champagne especially. I was very fond of him.
I see.
We met 5 years ago. Pat was going to take me out dancing. He was a good man. Infuriating sometimes. Always. But fun. And kindness itself underneath. I just can't believe that he's dead. Oh, not that we lived together or anything, it was just a casual arrangement.
Was that difficult for you?
Pat and I talked about marriage, but we just... Well, we just never got round to it. We just never did.
Lorelei, I'm going to have to inform Pat's next of kin. Do you know who that might be?
Me. Put me down as his next of kin.
Don't slam. Great car, Malcolm, really.
Yes, it is in good nick. That's because nobody ever slams the door.
Sorry, Malcolm. What's that smell? Burnt sausage and what?
Burnt plastic? Trevor Mundine.
Who wants him?
Inspector Thorne, Detective Hayden, homicide.
Ah, you've come for the Barbie. A little late, I'm afraid, as you can see. All gone. One less piece of filth we have to worry about. Should all be on the morning news. Isn't that right, darling? Did we give them a show or what? And my wife, Jan.
Hello.
We are not here about the video. Pat O'Donnell was murdered tonight.
Murdered? Oh, that's incredible. Still, I can't say it comes as a complete surprise.
How do you figure that?
Now, it's obvious, isn't it? The community has finally said enough's enough.
What, you, condone it?
I condone our right to live in peace. To not be terrified that our kids are going to be gunned down one day on their way to school. Sure, it's a tragedy. But if this is what it takes to stop these videos poisoning our lives...
All right. What can you tell us about your group, Deprave?
What would you like to know?
How many members are there?
37.
Do you know each and every one of them?
Of course.
Were they all here tonight?
Oh, you're not trying to suggest any of our people are responsible for this?
I can vouch for everyone.
Yeah, but it was dark. Surely you can't keep track of everyone all night.
Well, there was naturally some comings and goings, but I know these people are staunchly committed to anti-violence. They abhor it, and so do I.
Then perhaps you can explain to us why you're quoted as saying, Pat O'Donnell is scum, he deserves to rot in hell. 2 years ago, you took out an apprehended violence order against the deceased, true?
Yes.
You stated that he'd threatened you after you informed against him for supplying R-rated movies to a minor.
How's that relevant?
Well, the deceased was charged and fined, but he swore black and blue that it was a setup.
Pat O'Donnell said a lot of things, Detective.
Oh, yes, he did. He claimed you sent a teenage girl in specifically to get the video so the police would have to charge him.
O'Donnell supplied pornographic material to a minor. There's indisputable proof of that.
Pat O'Donnell claimed that you set him up, Mr. Mundine, that you sent someone in to hire an R-rated video, someone dressed and made up to look older than they were. Since then, the victim had you forcibly removed from his premises on 2 occasions and the police were called both times. The video store was vandalised last year. The deceased accused you of being responsible. Were you, sir?
Yeah, it's him. Pat was so excited being on TV and everything. Oh, he really thought he'd shown up Trevor Mundine.
It was a long-standing feud.
Oh, yeah. Mundine this and Mundine that was all Pat ever talked about.
Lorelei, you said that Pat was planning some kind of celebration tonight.
Oh, yeah. He had that twinkle in his eye, you know. Putting Mundine in his place always did that to Pat. Made him smug. Today he was more excited than usual.
Do you know why?
Pat liked his secrets.
I've explained that.
Then once more, so we have it for the record, please, Mr. Mundine.
How's it going?
You're not giving us much. Might be time to stir the pot. It seems our Mr. Mundine is quite a media darling.
And the point of this?
Footage from today's news. We thought it might be useful.
Him and other people like him pumping this malignant poison. It makes me wonder how he sleeps at night. How do you sleep at night, Mr. O'Donnell? When our kids are killing and getting killed because you left your conscience at the door. Suffer the little children. I say, well, that's not good enough. I say, suffer the devil who sounds the...
I have a right to voice my opinion.
Did you really want him to suffer?
O'Donnell is dead. It's for others to judge if that's a tragedy. But I had nothing to do with it.
This is the copy of Blood Heat that was playing in the machine last night when Pat was found.
Now, we need to know who borrowed it and exactly when it was brought back.
Oh, that shouldn't be a problem. Blood Heat. Not the most original title. Kids are raving about it. Not my cup of tea, that's for sure. Oh, well, here's your answer. You can tell by the serial number. It's definitely one of ours.
Can you tell us who borrowed it?
It was borrowed yesterday by... Oh, Sanjay Singh.
Do you know him?
Oh, yeah, everyone does. He owns the Indian Takeaway up the road. It's strange. It's not his sort of film at all.
What is his sort of film?
Oh, he likes the sexy stuff.
We were good friends.
And you saw the deceased last night?
Just for a second, I was returning a video.
Blood Heat?
Yes, I watched it yesterday when things were quiet. Well, Pat wanted to know what I thought of it. Why? Has that video got something to do with... It's all a bit hard to believe, you know? He was a good bloke.
When did you return it? The Blood Heat video, what time?
It was about 9:30 last night.
Right, and do you remember what was on the video monitor when you were in there?
Nothing. Actually, no. There was static.
Static?
Yeah, I saw it on the screen. Well, Pat must have just taken a video off or was about to put one on. Well, he often watched the movies he liked after closing.
Adult movies?
Believe you like those videos yourself, Mr. Singh?
Look, is there any other way I can help you?
You said that you saw Pat briefly last night. How did he seem to you?
I called out to tell him I was leaving the video. He popped his head out of the back room, said thanks, and that was that.
Nothing else?
No.
And was that unusual, that the conversation was so brief?
He was probably having dinner. Well, we did a swap yesterday. I mean, Pat likes my beef vindaloo and I get a free video.
Very civilised.
Look, you should be talking to Trevor Mundine, not me. I mean, Pat and Trevor, they were mortal enemies.
Just one more thing, Mr. Singh. The mannequin at the door, did it still have the spear in its hands?
Yeah, I think it did. It's funny. Pat went to a lot of trouble dressing up that dummy. It took him 8. What do you mean they used a spear?
Thanks for your time, Mr. Singh.
Thanks.
Right, the unmarked videos in the back room were home movies, parties, holidays with Lorelei, that sort of stuff. Pretty ordinary.
What about other witnesses?
No, it was a Sunday night. All the shops were closed.
Hey!
Oh, come on, it's 1,000,000 degrees in here.
Maybe for you, I'm freezing. I'm still trying to defrost. Right, look, we've got to pinpoint the time. Now, if Sanjay was telling the truth, then the killer must have gone to the video store sometime after 9:30.
Well, your favourite Martian, Duncan Bree, said he discovered the body about 10 o'clock.
Right. Now, we found the curry in the back room, the whiskey on the floor. So the killer probably went into the video store while Pat was eating his dinner.
Right, well, Mundine is top of my list. Look at this, the girl in blue. Now remember, Pat O'Donnell was charged with supplying an R-rated video to a minor.
Right, this is her.
Yeah, Camilla Collins. She's one of Mundine's lot. Now, Pat swore in his statement the girl looked over 18 when he led her the video, but she was only 16 at the time. And she turns up in court wearing only a school uniform and no makeup to prove the point.
Sounds like a setup, doesn't it?
Oh, our moral crusader Mundine seemed pretty intent on causing the deceased a lot of grief.
Yeah, let's not forget Sanjay from the takeaway shop.
Motive?
Well, I don't know. Could have had something against pornography, could have been anything. It seemed to me that he was very intent on laying blame at Trevor Mundine's feet.
The spear entered and exited the left side of the victim's chest at the 6th intercostal space, mid-clavicular line. Massive blood loss from piercing the heart caused an acute cardiac tamponade. Death would have been fast. A very clean wound.
Suggesting a very, very direct, very intentional strike.
Yes, looks that way. So, now for the stomach. Come on, come on, come on.
Oh, right. Well, there's the whiskey.
That's all right.
What's that?
Where's the curry? Food wouldn't have had time to digest. At least not fully.
Well, there's nothing there.
Not a morsel.
Good Lord.
Well, the takeaway container we found was only half full.
Well, I searched the video store. There was none in the bin, nothing in the sink. There was no other curry there.
So the victim didn't eat the curry? Who did? The killer?
Oh, wait a minute. What sort of person kills someone, then helps themselves to his dinner?
Now, Sanjay Singh's fingerprints were on both the takeaway curry container and the fork.
Well, that's fair enough. He made the curry.
There were smudges, but so far nothing untoward.
You all right, Fisk?
I'm fine.
Sounds like an infection. You should go home. We don't need you here. You're just spreading germs.
Thank you for your assistance, Constable.
What about saliva? His saliva.
Oh, what was there was far too diluted to tell us anything. The whiskey glass contained only the victim's prints. The microwave had the victim's plus Lorelei Brady's.
Same goes to that
Yeah,
video and one.
that's right. Now, except smudges on both the play and the eject button, indicating again that the killer wore gloves. There was no wound fibres. So, I would suggest that it was either leather or synthetic.
What can you tell us about the curry, Fisk?
Beef, very hot, very spicy. Coriander, turmeric, cayenne pepper, a few other spices we're yet to isolate.
Go home, Sergeant.
What are you thinking?
Something that Sanjay, that guy from the Indian takeaway, said. That they were good friends, right?
According to him.
Yeah, so he goes to return the video, calls out to Pat. Pat pops his head round the corner, says thanks, and then goes back into the back room. I mean, why didn't they have any kind of conversation?
Maybe he was too busy.
Oh, too busy to ask his opinion. Pat had asked Sanjay to watch that video. I don't know, you think he'd want some kind of justification for stocking it?
Yeah. Okay, so Pat's got something else to do, or he's got someone who's not supposed to be in the back room.
Someone who doesn't want to be seen. Okay. So, he pours his whiskey, he heats his curry, he goes to put on the adult video.
Right, it's 9:30, closing time. Lorelei's not due until 11, which is an hour and a half away.
Yeah, but then he doesn't lock up. Why? Maybe Pat's guest is someone that he doesn't know terribly well. A woman? Someone who could be uncomfortable, easily scared off?
All right. Like who?
I have no idea.
But he wasn't his usual chatty self.
No.
And did that seem strange to you?
Well, now that you put it like that, I mean, perhaps, but I was in a hurry. I mean, it didn't occur to me.
Right, and when you went to pick up your copy of the Blood Heat video yesterday afternoon, how did he seem to you then?
Bright, cheerful.
Nothing strange about that?
He might have been perkier than his usual self, but I thought he was planning something, you know, another revenge against Mundine. It was a great one for revenge, was Pat. Well, his favourite movies were westerns.
Was it possible that he might have had someone with him when you took the video back last night?
You mean another woman? Someone other than Lorelei?
Is that possible?
Well, Pat was a very outgoing kind of guy. I mean, everything was a game to him. Women were a challenge. He enjoyed the chase. I mean, he didn't think about how other people might feel. If Lorelei knew half the stuff I do about him, she'd...
What?
Well, Pat was a whole world. She didn't have anything else.
I told you. Pat was good to me. Always. Protective.
Lorelei, this is difficult, but I have to ask. Were you aware of Pat having any other female friends?
You mean lovers? Well, why would he need another? I was already his mistress.
His mistress?
Pat's married. His wife's up north. He's got 2 kids. That's why we couldn't get married. That would mean Pat'd have to get a divorce first, wouldn't it? That wasn't on.
How did you feel about that?
How do you reckon I felt? 5 years realising it was never going to happen. And now you're asking me if Pat had other women. I want to go home now.
I'll have a look at the door. Thank you.
The unedited material of the protest outside the video store. The footage they didn't use on the nightly news.
How did you get hold of this?
I pulled a few strings, don't ask. Now look, there's a lot of it, but you never know. There might be something here.
Talk about landing on your feet. Journalists get sent out to cover a suburban demonstration, ends up with a murder.
Well, it imitates life, imitates art. And all because of something that should be banned anyway.
You would have banned the blood heat video?
We know the damage that this stuff does. We deal with the result of it every day.
You don't think that logic's just a little regressive?
I've got children, remember?
Like all the very best! Last time I looked, this was still a democracy! But I'm more than willing to discuss this with Trevor if he wants. Step inside, Trev.
No, I don't
Let's talk
think
about this
so.
like adults.
I
Come on,
don't
mate,
think
we're both
so.
reasonable people. Your wife certainly is. We've often managed to overcome our differences. I've had many pleasant dealings with her on the street fair committee. Come on, Trev. What are you so afraid of? No video, blood.
Here you go. Hang on. Mundine's wife.
So?
That's possible, isn't it? Yeah. Well, we think that there may have been someone with Pat in the back room at about 9:30 last night.
Like who?
Well, what better revenge against Trevor Mundine than to race off his wife?
Certainly take the wind out of Mundine's sails, wouldn't it?
So, I wonder, have we found our mystery woman?
It's dangerous territory, having an affair with your husband's arch enemy.
Well,
if indeed that is the case.
Yeah, we're not absolutely sure, which is why we need to go back to the video store and do a sort of a run-through of what we think might have happened on the night that Pat O'Donnell was murdered.
Just to make sure of our facts before we confront Mrs. Mundine about her relationship with the victim.
And we need your help. Okay, Fisk, I'd like you to be the victim, Pat. Tootsie, Pat's mystery guest, Sanjay Singh and Duncan Bree, and I'll be the killer. Okay. Now, Fisk, if you start in the back room doing whatever, getting ready, which is pretty much how things would have been. Dee, you ready? Okay. When the mystery guest arrives.
Yep, I'm ready. And action. Hello, Pat.
Okay, they move into the back room. Okay, the curry goes into the microwave. We can assume Pat would have had to put it in for around 2 minutes. Okay, now the beeper sounds, so you can take it out. As Sanjay arrives. Sanjay?
Hello? Anyone here?
Right, we'll assume the mystery guest doesn't want to be seen. Okay.
Oh, Sanjay, good. You brought it back. Terrific. Thank you.
All right, bye. Good. Tess, I couldn't see anybody in the back room.
Okay, it's just after 9:30. Pat returns to his guest. Pat returns to his guest, where he pours himself a whiskey. And...
Come on, a real whiskey.
Okay, good, and offers some curry.
Oh, I don't mind if I do.
Now, Pat moves through to the shop. Where he puts on a video to get them in the mood, something lovey-dovey, the witness described it as. Yep, that'll do. 5 minutes up.
Should get you going.
All right, it's 9:45. The murderer enters. Pat and the mystery guest stay in the back room. Enraged by what I hear, I double back to get the weapon. Okay, Pat's mystery guest decides for some reason she's not interested in a romantic encounter, so she leaves. The only way out is the front door. And then I move swiftly to catch the victim off guard. Ooh. Okay, and before I can exit the shop, a customer enters. All right, now, even though I want to get out of the crime scene as soon as possible, there's something I have to do first. I take out the video that's playing. I put in the copy of Blood Heat that Sanjay has just left on the counter, and then I slip away.
Hello? Anyone here? I need some help. Hello? Hello? Oh no!
And cut. That was good.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much how it must have happened.
I thought you were good, Sergeant. No, really, I thought you were very good, especially at the end.
Dee, I'll need a copy of that tape as soon as possible.
Yeah, no worries. I can do a dub of it now. The guy had a great dubbing set in his back room.
Has it helped you work out who done it?
I don't know, there's something that's confusing me. Why did the killer take the time to change the video? There was someone else in the shop that could have easily been seen.
Well, to make the point the murder was connected to the Blood Heat controversy.
Yeah, well, that's what we've been assuming, but how could the killer know that the Blood Heat video was going to be on the counter?
Unless the Indian takeaway guy is the killer.
There, look at the counter. Okay, the video's lying there, no video jacket. Now, the killer couldn't have had any more time than I did, and there weren't any other videos lying on the counter after the murder.
So
we spent so much time concentrating on the Blood Heat connection. But what about the other video, the video that the killer took out of the machine?
Killer took it with him.
Mm-hmm. Enraged by what I hear, I double back to get the weapon. Okay, Pat's mystery guest decides for some reason she's not interested in a romantic encounter, so she leaves. The only way out is the front door. And then I move swiftly to catch the victim off guard.
I've had many pleasant dealings with her on the street fair committee.
He had that twinkle in his eye, you know.
I can do a dub of it now. The guy had a great dubbing set in his back room.
No video, Blood Heat off the street. No video, Blood Heat off the street.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hello, Tessa.
Steve, listen, you checked out the CDs in the back room of the video shop. Did you notice if Pat O'Donnell had a copy of Handel's Messiah?
Yeah, there were lots of classical music. Why?
Can you pick me up? I'll explain when you get here.
Yes, dear. Blackmail?
Well, the reenactment, we were focusing on the Blood Heat video, but that first tape, the one the killer took, that's the one we should have been focusing on.
It had evidence that linked the killer to the crime. That's why the killer changed the tapes.
Yeah, which is what's been throwing us off.
So why do you think we'll find anything back at the video store?
Well, if I'm right, whatever was on that first tape was important enough to kill for. And I mean, I don't think the victim was stupid. He would have made a copy. There was all that dubbing equipment.
So if we find the tapes, we find the killer, right?
That's what I'm hoping.
You're just a little scary sometimes, that's all.
What's going on here? Get out of my way! What's happening to the videos? You don't understand me, mate. I love those videos!
told you, I have nothing to say.
And you don't wish to change your statement?
No, I did not murder Pat O'Donnell.
Really? Then what were you doing at his store tonight? Why'd you try to burn it down? We found accelerants and we know you broke in through the back door.
I was trying to destroy it before it destroyed any more lives. Someone has to put an end to that filth.
Oh yeah, and the evidence that links you to the murder.
No. I'll admit to the arson. I'm prepared to pay the penalty for that. But that's all. Other than, I have nothing more to say.
All right, let's assume you're right. He was looking for that incriminating tape.
Doesn't find it, so he does the next best thing.
It's going to take us months to sort through that mess at the video store, not to mention 1,000 mangled videos.
Or maybe just one. Let's not forget the original one the killer took.
Got it.
Now, that burnt tape was not commercial. The spine wasn't consistent with the others taken from the shop.
Right. What about the writing on the label?
Oh, you can see for yourself. Clearly some sort of ink. The molecules have melted, rearranged themselves.
So the ink ran?
There's another way of putting it, yeah. Anything else?
Hey, Tess. The case was fused with heat like you expected. But I was able to remove the tape and put it into a new cassette.
Oh, great.
Quality's poor and intermittent, but it's something.
Well, something's better than nothing.
I dubbed it onto this for you.
Oh, you are brilliant.
Shucks.
I'm sorry to keep you both waiting.
Where's Trevor? When are you going to let him go? Is he going to be charged with the fire?
I think you'll find everything you need to know in here. Please. We have a videotape that we'd like you to have a look at.
Where's Trevor?
It's a copy of the one that was salvaged from the embers of the barbecue at the community hall. It's the forensic people have done an amazing job, but it is a pretty distorted image. As I said, a fairly distorted image, but clear enough.
What is this? My God!
We believe a copy of this tape was playing in Pat O'Donnell's store on the night of his murder.
Turn it off! How dare you! Oh, you stupid little bitch. Do you think I didn't know about you and Trevor?
Is this why he tried to burn down the store? Because of the video?
Of course. He was trying to protect you. Always coming onto him. God, I don't know who was worse.
No, I love him.
Oh, please.
And he doesn't love you. You know, the only reason he stayed with you is because he thought he had to. It's what people expect. Now, who took this?
The original belonged to Pat O'Donnell. It was his revenge against Trevor. Trevor went back to the video store last night. He knew there was a copy there and he wanted to destroy it.
Because that little slug O'Donnell was showing it in his shop for all the world to see.
Me and Trevor?
Yes, sweetheart. You and Trevor. That's why O'Donnell was so cocky at the protest, because he had that tape.
That's why he wanted Trevor to go inside the shop with him at the protest.
I saw Trevor leave the community hall that night, so I followed him, thinking it was you he was meeting.
But he was on his way to the video store, wasn't he?
Well, I didn't know what was going on, so I went inside. And that's when I saw that. That garbage was playing on the TV set. And I could hear them talking in the back room.
Your husband and Mr. O'Donnell?
O'Donnell was laughing and drinking. And do you know what my spineless husband did about it? Nothing. He just blubbered and begged like an idiot. And then he blundered out and ran away, leaving it all to me as usual.
Leaving what to you, Mrs. Mundine?
Oh, come on. You know I killed him. That's why you put this on, isn't it? Actually, I was quite amazed by how easy it was. When it was over, when Pat O'Donnell was dead, I just sat down and helped myself to his curry.
Well, that's why Trevor Mundine broke into the video store and set it on fire, because Pat had told him that there was a master copy and Trevor knew that he had to get rid of it.
I love the irony. He was trying to destroy the evidence and his wife had already done it. At the community hall.
Well, that was the tape that she took out of the machine. The fact that she put on the blood heat video was pure coincidence.
And Lorelei?
Had nothing to do with it. Pat was probably looking forward to sipping champagne with his girlfriend, gloating over his revenge. He probably thought he had the Mundines off his back forever.
I still don't get why Jan Mundine didn't tell her husband that she destroyed the tape.
She wanted more than that. She wanted to make him squirm. Don't you know anything about women?
So is Thorne right?
What about the motive?
About you knowing nothing about women.
I know enough about women.
So what do you know?
I know that women have dark, secret, primal urges.
No, men don't have dark, secret, primal urges.
Oh, we have them. They're just not a secret.
No, it's freezing in here.
You know, I was conceived in a lift.
Cold, was it?